What's going on, guys? Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be working on the doors for the 68 Firebird. I'm going to be trying to save them, and I'm going to break this up into a couple parts. If not, it'd be over an hour long, and I don't really want to do that. But instead of making a long intro here and just keep talking, I'm just going to get straight to the footage, guys. There's definitely a lot of work to fix this door shell, but I'm not going to overcomplicate this. I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible, and my main focus is going to be this corner. You can see I already started trying to make a template for the first big piece, and I'm going to make this in several pieces. I'm going to have a piece here, there's going to be another piece here, so on and so forth. It's all going to get welded together. Now I'm going to, like I said, I'm only focused here for now because this is the most rotted part of the door shell. I will come back here, and I'm probably going to do this in one big piece all across the bottom. But the first thing that I am going to need to do is I'm going to have to file this edge of the door skin down so that I can separate and peel up the flange that's folded over. That way I can replace the shell all the way across. Okay, so for those that have never done this before, I got my grinder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grind this edge down. And you want to take your time and be very vigilant and pay attention. You don't want to do too much. You're just going until you see the two layers split. You do not want to get into the door shell. Now, for this particular instance, this whole area of the door shell is getting replaced. But if you were skinning a door, you would follow the same concept around the entire perimeter of the door. See that there? That is what you're looking for. It's just starting to separate. I can feel the skin in there. So now we'll do this side. Eventually I'm going to do the entire bottom of the door, but I'm just worried about this corner for now. The skin has some spot welds on it, so I'm going to grind. There's a spot weld here, and I think there's one right here too. I'm going to grind those two down.
Down here side cuts, kind of feel this bit.
You can see how much rust is just hiding between that skin. So I got all my little tape templates kind of made up here, except for this top piece. This little guy's gonna go there, so I'm gonna attempt this 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. This might turn into 2 separate pieces down here. I'm gonna try to incorporate this body line and make it in one. I might not be able to, we'll see, and this one's gonna fit right in there. So now it's time to start transferring everything over. I have a bunch of little scraps here. Since it's a bunch of little pieces, I'll make each individual piece out of here, and I'll save my bigger sheet metal for the bigger portions, of course. So I cut out my first piece of metal here, and this piece is going to wrap around. You can see there's the first template, one of many, and I cut it off of this. This is a B-pillar or sail panel for a 3rd gen F-body. This particular one happens to be from a Firebird. Ironically, you can see what's left of the bird right there. The reason I have this is because I had to do this patch on my my Camaro in the background, and turns out for all my 3rd gen guys, the Firebird is actually different. Matter of fact, here, let me show you guys. Right here, you see that's a nice 90. On the Camaro, It's actually it's rolled. You can see here, it's got a roll in it. Just a little bit of useless knowledge for third gen guys out there. Anyways, we got our first piece of metal cut. Get you back on the tripod. So now it's time to start shaping it. Now I did drill one of my holes for the weather stripping, and I do have them center punch the other three. You can kind of see the dimple right there and right there. So now we got to start bending this into shape, and the best way to do that is just use the panel itself, right? We just got to keep working that. Now the bottom edge of this is not flush. I'm gonna have to grind that down. But like I said, now we got our bend started. We'll just slowly manipulate the metal until we get a good fit. I'm liking that right there. Just needs a little bit right here. No fancy tools. Just getting it done. Now, let's get that bottom edge trimmed. We'll get this to drop perfectly. Then I'm gonna start working on this top. There's a roll here, and I wanna try and keep this original looking as possible. So I'm gonna mimic that roll, and it comes for like a 90 right here, and it graduates, it gradually turns into a roll all the way up the door. So first things first, I'm gonna get a flap wheel, and we're gonna start cleaning this edge. I'm gonna get this to sit good around here. I actually remove the second patch that we'll be making. That's the template for the next one. That way I can get a nice tight fit all across here. Actually, let's just remove them all. It is the next day, and reason I'm pointing that out is because I was able to reach out to my local distributor, and it's business day, obviously. And I was able to reach out to my local distributor, and I spoke to him about the skins, and he does keep them in stock. He has a passenger side in right now, and he's gonna be ordering the driver side just because he likes to keep both sides on hand at all times. So I'll probably be going to see him and picking up the skins. I'm not sure, I didn't ask what brand they were, but he is asking 140 bucks for them a piece, which, you know, it is what it is. This is what happens when you build these cars. I'm still back and forth on repairing the skin on the driver side door. I'm thinking with all the pitting on the passenger, we're gonna probably skin it. It's time to start fitting this a little bit better. I put my tape, my template back on it because I left a lot of meat on the bottom. We gotta cut that down. Also, I did finally invest in a new grinder from Harbor Freight. I went up for a little bit of a better model. Got the Bauer instead of the Warrior. being that it's a lot to grind, I'm just gonna use my cutoff wheel and cut that sliver off. Perfect. Okay. We got that good. What I'm doing is I am making a mark here because that is where it starts to roll. So now we're gonna head over to a bench and we're gonna start trying to roll that slowly. So now to roll this edge here, I'm looking at an array of things that I have to do it, and I made this tea dolly a while back. I can possibly get it done, but I'm thinking of making another one. You can see I got the bar already set up. I got these cable clips here. I'm thinking just welding one to the end of one of these just like that, so I can put it in the vise, and then I can slowly tap and work that round edge, whether it's big or small. So that is what we're gonna do here. So this is what I did. I cut me a little piece. I notched it on both sides. Instead of welding it to the side, I decided to center it. Don't ask me, just being an overachiever. No other particular reason why. So let's get it grounded. Fire up the welder. That's not good. I left the gas on about 2 days. Doesn't look like I lost much. Anyways, let's crank up the heat. Not quite sure. We'll make something up. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. It's a tool. Not bad. The settings. She's dirty. All right. Trying to get it done, but gotta slow down the wire speed a bit. Yeah, now it's welding a lot better. Wire speed was a little bit high. Oh well. Now it's gonna let it cool a bit. There it is. Let's see how it's gonna work out. It's crude, but I'm not looking for it to be nice. Just looking for it to do its job. Well, I thought I was recording, guys, but I pretty much started shaping it, and it's working out You can see I got a nice little radius forming. And I'm using this piece to work in here, and then I'm swapping over to my T-dolly that I made a while back to do the long ways. Now, I've been at this for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes, as I was saying earlier, which didn't get recorded. You don't want to beat on this. You just want to lightly tap and slowly work the metal in. Anyways, this is going to take me a while. I'll bring you guys back when I got it all set. So I went the route, I made the relief cuts because it was faster than me trying to shrink it. There are ways to shrink it, but I wanted to get this done quicker. But I am very happy with how that's fitting. Check that out. You can see we are following the roll pretty good. I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna call this one good. We're gonna set it to the side. Now we're gonna start on piece number 2 down here, which is this guy. And this is piece number 3. So let's find a piece of scrap. And I'm just using leftovers. This is from the toe board. And that fits in pretty good right there. So we're gonna cut it out. Well, being that this one is small, I decided I'm gonna take it out of this piece instead. So we're just gonna snip that straight across. And I'm not even gonna use a grinder or anything. I'm just gonna tin snip this one. Now, I'm gonna take a little scribe, and I'm just gonna scribe my edge. To be honest, I'm gonna make it bigger anyways than what I need and grind to fit. Smooth template. So I'm gonna go hammer this out and then we'll work on fitting it. So I may have gotten a bit carried away. I got this piece cut and I also cut this piece, and currently working on it on the bench, and I thought maybe I should show you guys that one little curve in there. I'm trying to get it in this panel right now, and the way I'm doing it is I got this old jackhammer chisel that I found on a job site back in the day, and I filed the edge, kind of made it round. And I've been moving this in the vise. I didn't go like that. I had this laying. So right now, the way it is, I only bent that much. And then I'd turn it a little bit and I'd tap it outward. Now, I don't know if it's good because I haven't even test fitted it yet. But you can see I did put that angle in there. And yeah, no, it's a little off, but let me work with that. I might be able to make that work. It's very steep. I got a little too aggressive with the hammer. It's too aggressive. I gotta try and shallow that out. I'm gonna see if I can save this piece. I might have to remake it, but that's what happens when you make custom panels. I got updates. Lots happened. So I got started trying to fit this piece in. And I was gonna tack it in place. And then when I cut it, I noticed this pitted really bad. And also, the back of the hinge plate is rotted free. So I opted to remove the hinge plate altogether. I drilled out the holes. I also, you can see there, I ran self-tappers through so that I can relocate this in the exact same spot that I removed it from. So I gotta fix this hinge plate. Just to let you guys know, this is pretty much good now. Just gotta tack it into place. But we're gonna stop working on that. Now I gotta work on this. Start cleaning it. I might actually set up the pop blaster and try and build myself a little containment and blast this thing. I think that'd be the best bet. There's a lot to clean on here. The lower door hinge plate, I went ahead and I blasted it. And I made a mess. I made a little containment. It did help because there is nothing over there, but it sure did blow out over here. I'm definitely in the hunt for a blast cabinet, but I'm cheap, so I'm not gonna buy new. I'm waiting for a deal to come on. Also, it is the next day. I went to my local distributor and he cut me a deal on a door. So I decided to replace the passenger side. It fits pretty well. Not sure what brand it was. It was unboxed. That's why he gave me a deal. He didn't know if it was returned for fitment issues. I mean, the gap is decent. I mean, up here, it's gonna need a little work. It doesn't follow the original contour, but that's to be expected. Right now, it's sitting a little high. I gotta keep adjusting it, but I'm still waiting to replace the lower hinges. I did pick some up from them and I wasn't happy. They weren't sitting right. The lower one would not sit flush against the firewall. I got a picture of it. I'll throw it in so you can see. I'm gonna get them swapped out. I also threw in seam sealer in those cowl shoulders, but enough rambling on behind the scenes. Here's this piece, all blasted. You can see we got some holes. Got some down there, right there. Very rough shape. Now, this is heavy steel. It's about 1/8 inch plate. I do have 1/8 inch plate, but in all honesty, I do not want to deal with trying to bend it. So what I'm going to try and do is, I'm actually going to fire up the welder, and I'm just going to weld in all these pits, these holes, and I'm just going to fill it up and then grind it smooth. Well, it's hideous looking, but we built up some material. We fold that. We're gonna let this cool down, and then on the back side here, I gotta make a new leg at the bottom because that one's separated. There you have it. Got it all dressed up. I did go over it. I ground it down once and then I went over it again with the welder. I just finished grinding it again. Look on the back. There's the new leg I made. So now the cage it's good again. So I'm gonna asphaltate this, and then we'll put it back in. I'm gonna just screw it in place. I'm not gonna go straight into welding it. I'm gonna screw it down, and then we'll continue on the patch on the heel.